the most delightful segment in all of sports media. Now, the following is a ranking, and it's a rich tapestry of weekly excellence, historical greatness, and general optimism. It's named after LeBron, and we call it King of the Hill.
Indeed, great introduction as always, Kevin Wilds. Much appreciated. First, we want to show you who slid off the hill from last week, and it's 4 names. 4 people, so 4 new people to the hill. Jalen Green, Ime Udoka basically said your team was not ready and got punked by the Warriors, so you slide off. Cade Cunningham's been out. DeJounte Murray's hot streak ended, and Rudy Gobert made the hill because I was like, you know what? He's the defensive player of the year. He's got to be on the hill. He is no longer the defensive player of the year. More on that later in the hill. Wow. Level 7. Let's talk about the sliders first. Kawhi has missed time. And listen, Dame, I understand it's all part of the Bucks' plan, but there has to be some penalty for the poor play. Domantas Sabonis back on the hill. Jamal Murray back on based on the fact that he is now playing again. He finally got back after missing time. Didn't play that well in the game. He was back. Minutes, exactly right. And so if he's playing, he's got to be back on the hill. And Chris Stapps, the 3rd Celtic on the hill for the first time this year. Wow. Shout out Chris Stapps. All right, 6th row. Zion and the Pelicans were slumping a bit, so he drops. Jalen and De'Aaron stay where they are. Listen, the Magic might be the damn 2 seed when it's all said and done. They're fighting for the 3 seed right now with the 2 seed still alive. He deserves massive credit. Paul George, what do you have, a 21-point 4th quarter, had an unbelievable performance without Kawhi Leonard. He's fighting for an All-NBA spot. Shout out to him. And Tyrese Maxey. Maxey might be is the word you taught me, Brew, indefatigable? Like unexhaustible? I think it is. I was watching him in a game, he played 52 minutes, and he still is just getting to the rim, or he scored 52 points, and I think played 52 minutes, getting to the rim at will. He moves up the hill. Row 5. Listen, Shai is a rightful top 5 MVP candidate, but he's just still out. So he continues to slide while he is out. Anthony Edwards is not playing poorly, but again, he had nowhere to go but down after he was atop the hill, shockingly, after the greatest dunk in NBA history, according to Kevin Wilds. Durant and Steph stay where they are, and Wemby. Wemby keeps having stat lines no one's ever had before. Brew, however, he is not my defensive player of the year.
Wow.
We will explain in a moment. 4th row, LeBron. Hey. Spoiler alert, sir. LeBron missed a game, and he's no longer shooting 90% like he was last week, so he drops a bit. Kyrie Irving, hats off, man. He is doing, I understand he's still going to end up missing 20-some games this year, but no shenanigans off the court. Great chemistry on the court. Playing winning basketball. You and Luka, I guess we shouldn't be shocked it took about a year. But it took them about a year to figure out how to best play off each other. The chemistry between you two guys is great. You had a monster game in the great win you guys had after the Exum 3. So he moves up. And Devin Booker ended last week before King of the Hill. He was playing well. He continued it this week. He moves up into the top 10. Bud list, that's right, bro. Never underestimate the power of the Bud list. 3rd row. All right, again, Giannis, I understand. You're like, but I'm doing what Coach wants us to do. It's a smart thing. I get it, man, but there is a cost. And the cost is you lose 4 in a row, you've lost all week, you slide down the hill. Jalen Brunson, guys, I just want to read you his numbers. This week, played in 4 games. 33 points, 10 assists per game. He's playing 39 minutes a night because Coach Tibbs has never seen a seat he wants him to take, and it's just balling. With or without Hartenstein in the starting lineup, that guy's awesome. Anthony Davis, by the way, he is the defensive player of the year. So the argument is not only the eye test, not only the numbers impact, but also this. I watched the Lakers in a game that he got knocked out of the other night, that they expected to have him and then they didn't. And guess what? They can't guard anybody. So sometimes your case is made by how you play. Sometimes your case is made by how the team looks without you. And again, they didn't have LeBron either, who obviously is still an excellent defender. However, they have no one on the team that can stop the point of attack or be a rim protector. Anthony Davis, and by the way, offensively, his numbers this week, the averages are brought down because he played 2 minutes or 10 minutes of the one game. But other than that, he was having monster games. All right, top 3. Jokic and Embiid is just unbelievable, man. He's 10th in the league in mid-range makes this year. He missed 40 games.
Right.
So
Unbelievable.
what he has been doing, his efficiency, he's a two-way player. His offensive numbers are just phenomenal. And I think the Sixers right now are one of the scariest teams in the league because Embiid seems fresh, Maxi's playing great, they're deep.
Yep.
And then still atop the hill, Luka Doncic, who at first I was like, how good was his week? And I'm like, well, 31, 11, and 10 were his averages on 46, 42 splits. The team has lost twice in the last month, it feels like. He stays atop the hill, and I understand, Brew, he's not likely to win it.
No.
He has a very legitimate MVP case. Jokic has one as well, but either one of those guys would be justifiable MVPs. That is the king of the hill for the week of April 9th.
It's a very good hill. There is, though, one weakness to the hill.
What?
I'll get to it in my explanation, but I brought it up last week, and I'll do it again this week. But my beef is that Anthony Edwards should move up. And you're right, Jalen Brunson has been terrific, but they've been 2-4. I get it, all the injuries. But I'm switching Anthony Edwards and Jalen Brunson. Edwards should be right up there on that third tier. And here's why. One, I know you're focused on his offense, and this is the weakness of the hill, unless your name's Anthony Davis.
I buy this.
The hill doesn't really care about defense.
No.
Doesn't care at all, unless you want to make a case for Anthony Davis to be Defensive Player of the Year. Because you're just looking at Anthony Edwards' numbers this week, 23 points, 5 dimes, didn't shoot it well.
No.
He's not a great outside shooter. He can get streaky, he's okay,
Yeah.
but that's why sometimes his offensive play fluctuates.
That's correct.
But they're right now, this moment, the #1 seed in the West, despite Karl Anthony Towns missing the last month. And the main reason, shout out to Naz Reid, who's played really well in Cat's Place, but is Anthony Edwards. And here's the thing, Wiles. Not only is he a great offensive player, everybody looks at the dunks, they look at the explosiveness as to why people have compared him to Michael Jordan. But I am looking at the defense. Yeah, the other things are similar too, but this dude is a tenacious defender. And look, obviously Rudy Gobert is the number one reason they have the best defense in the league, but the way he dogs guys on the perimeter is also a factor, and I've got the numbers to back it up. He is top 20 in the league in steals. Okay, that's nothing to shout about, but defensive win shares, 3rd in the league. Yeah. All right, and he's the only guard in the top 10. You know I'm into the analytics. But he's the only guard in the top 10 in defensive win shares.
Yes, it's everyone on the
No, it's not. No, because he's the only guard. They got other guards on the Wolves. In fact, Mike Conley, who's a very good defender.
But he's not playing as many minutes.
Yeah,
Conley's
still
a great defender.
Look, Anthony Edwards is a great defender. If you watch, he's actually he's going to be an all-defensive team this year. Trust me. Defensive rating, he's 12th.
That's the Wolves.
12th in the league. Hold on. 12th in the league, and he's the only guard in the top 15.
Because he plays his minutes with Gobert.
Because the dude defends.
Okay. I do
The dude defends. So he's doing it on both ends of the floor. Move him up.
I love Anthony Edwards, and you do make a good point about the Jordan similarities on offense and defense, because much like Jordan, slightly overrated defender, 3rd best on his own team.
Slightly overrated.
So I mean, just again.
Maybe it's a media.
What do you mean? It's a media vote, but overrated by the media. And again, you have Pippen, you have Rodman, you have Ron Harper, who Jordan's guarding. Oh my God, Jordan's guarding 4th best guy.
Ron Harper was better, really, with the bad knees.
Ron Harper was better. Who was guarding who? Look, watch the tape, Brew. You're too busy. You know what Brew's doing?
Because Jordan had to score 45 of their 87 points.
See, there you go.
Give him a little break.
That's fine. Agreed. Like Anthony Edwards. Brew is out there
Edwards is a great
looking up defensive win shares while I'm watching
Edwards
the tape.
is a great. No, I'm watching the game.
Okay,
Edwards is a great defender.
All right, Jamal Murray. I'll be honest with you. You know they call me the Mayor Fair all across America.
I like this, Miles.
I got a little bit nervous not having Jamal Murray.
About no one's beating Denver?
Yeah. So I said no one's beating Denver in a 7-game series. I wanted an asterisk there.
No, you don't get one.
But Hubs told me we can't make asterisks on the thing, so I'm just telling you, asterisk. Nuggets this season with and without Jamal Murray.
Yeah.
With, on the court, pretty good. 41-14 record with him. 13-10 without.
Yeah.
Wolves came in, I was like, ooh, we need this one. And no Jamal Murray, like, ooh, not great.
Yeah.
Playoffs, luckily, obviously, he steps up. So maybe this is like a nice, you know how your Embiid theory? You know, a little dip, and you get rested, and then you come back full strength. Maybe that's what's happening. And one little caveat, Josh said, got smarter, taking more efficient from threes. His career low threes, but career high percentage. So I like this. I just need his knee to be okay. I still believe in my pick, but we saw much like Anthony Davis how important he is to the Nuggets.
I mean, that is, they go from, and I know Vegas disagrees with us here, but for this show at least, pretty considerable, almost overwhelming favorite to incredibly beatable.
Absolutely.
Based on
100%.
Jamal Murray's health. And go ahead, bro.
Well, I was going to say, without Murray,
they're not,
I don't think they win the West.
I agree with you.
The Wolves came in to Denver.
And I'm going to tell you one other thing, that if you're, I understand there is a fight in the West right now for the 1 seed, and I get this, and I understand why, and if you're Denver in particular, because you're so dominant at home, you want it. I would not be thrilled about a round 2 matchup with Dallas. Dallas right now I know Brew thinks it'll be a round 2 matchup with his beloved Clippers. I believe Dallas is going to beat the Clippers in round 1. Dallas right now feels like a team that could give anyone a ton of trouble. And so you certainly need Jamal Murray at full strength if you're the 1 seed Denver and you're going to have to deal with Luka and Kyrie. There's no doubt about that.
Yeah, it'll be high-scoring games.
And they're defending now, too. You know, I'm about that defense.
Evidently.
You love the defense.
Arms up.
You like Luke? You like
the
Dallas
feet.
defending all of a sudden?
They are now with
are.
Gafford at center.
That's
Not worried about
Daniel
classic
Gafford.
too by me. Daniel Gafford, trade deadline. I mentioned that. Bruce
Did
like,
you
oh,
say
Daniel
that?
Gafford's not going to change anything. You're mad about the Lakers.
I don't remember that.
Yeah,
I
oh,
don't think
just
so.
pull the tape. Pull the tape. Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get more from the show and to check out clips from other shows on FS1.